okay, so Democrats are giving up on our health care, but I'm the reason why the Democrats lost, because I'm too mean, because I said too much about the dumb shit they do. That's what happened. Got it.
This episode is brought to you by our patron supporters. Today's patron of the day is Lost. Many such cases. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline. That's patreon.com/calltheline. I love when people's patron names are something that like makes the sentence funny. Like today's patron of the day is Lost. That's really funny.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Someone make your name. Today's patron of the day is I forgot to pick a patron of the day. That'd be pretty good. Something like that. Take that energy I just gave you.
Yeah.
Be creative. Or else you're out. We're kicking you out. Or else.
Oh my God.
It's here. It's November 11th. 11/11.
Sure is.
2025, everybody. Happy Veterans Day. In the country that literally does not give a fuck about their military, runs the military as a cult. The MAGA talks about the military a lot. They don't care about them. The only good thing about the military is the aspects of communism, you know, public housing, public health care, right? You know, all that kind of, that's it. That's pretty much like the only good thing. And then someone's going to be like, in the comments, like, yeah, but they have to work for it. I guess you've never heard of from each according to their ability to each according to their need. Get out of here, fucking pleb.
My brother-in-law is a veteran, and there are some perks that like I had no idea about that I'm sure when he signed up, they were probably peddling to him. Like he doesn't have to put a down payment on a house.
Yeah, not at
Stuff
first
like
anyway.
that.
Yeah. You do have to also live in the house for some period of time. So you can't use it to just buy a home. Man, I'll tell you with the house purchasing things. You see Marjorie Taylor Greene, like
what she
giving off Bernie energy, where she was like, no, President Trump, 50-year mortgages sounds dumb as fuck. Instead of that, let's just empower people with good rent history to get mortgages. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're a fucking weirdo. Where's the QAnon lady we all grew to love?
I know. Well, I think now that she's realizing that she's fallen so out of favor with MAGA that she's like, well, now I still want to be she's a career politician. So she's like, I need to figure out where exactly I'm going to go.
Right. Until she starts doing something really, this is what AOC said, like watch her talk, but no substance. She's mad that she was going to run for Senate. And Trump said no, leave Georgia alone, told her no. And she's like, well, in that case. But I got to say, her face is looking less like a foot every day.
It is. She's, you know what? It would do her. I know that it's like such a thing now. The Republican makeup is like such a thing now. Yeah. It would do her such a service if she stopped putting fucking black eyeliner just all around her eye.
Oh, you think there's a real thing happening? I'm just saying that substantively, as she is less of a Nazi, she looks lighter. Happier. And I don't mean lighter as in, I know that's, I mean like as though some evil weight has been lifted up. Can you imagine though? Like there's an upper limit too. She's not going to suddenly come out and be like, but you know what? I realize abortions is so good. That's not coming.
No, certainly not.
Whatever pivot to the left she's going to try and make. I don't know. It'd be crazy if she becomes the face of socialism. Like, move over, Hassan. I'm on my way.
I think, well, that's the thing that's so weird about what like the whole climate of all of it is. And actually, I saw Ben Shapiro talking about this a couple of days ago. And I wish I could remember where he was saying this. But he said, he was like, you know, what all the Republicans have been saying, which is Democrats won in Democratic states, which is not true across the board. They flipped.
Right.
Democrats won in Democratic states. This is not a big deal, and people shouldn't be taking this as an indication of anything. However, he said people like Mamdani winning show that what people are most interested in is changing the status quo, however that looks.
Maybe, or yes, I think because the status quo, you can make that argument, but I think that's almost trying to get out. I think that's trying to cop out and be like, whatever, they would vote for anything that's different, even if things were good right now, is kind of what that argument is. And it's no. They want to change the status quo because the status quo is bad. Affordability is bad. That is the word you need to start going with, much less than status quo, but they can't. How is a Republican going to run on affordability? Affordability means doing anti-capitalist things.
Yes. That's not going to fucking happen.
Overnight, they're just going to be like, you know what? So now we get to the news of the day. But before we do, hey, people, if you would like to be a part of an exclusive Discord where you can contribute articles, it won't be a debate Discord. And in fact, there will be a little robot there to make sure that people who aren't actively participating will be ejected. But if you want to be a part of that,
tough crowd.
Send it. Yeah. We're not trying to find another dead Discord. But if you want to be a part of the Line Has a Podcast, we're going to start. We've decided today to start trying to actually promote the podcast, put a little more.
Episode 60.
65. This is 66.
Okay.
This is episode 66.
Okay.
People.
Can you hear the dogs, by the way?
By episode 69, I want to have something that looks good in both directions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, girl.
Nice. Anyway, go email contact@qanaline.com and just put podcast crew in the subject line if you want to be a part of that. We technically have that subreddit, but we haven't really been using it, and but Discord is going to be better. If you want to participate in that, make sure that we're seeing the news you think we should be responding to, be part of a discussion. Debaters will be ejected into the sun. Transphobes will be ejected into the sun. New York Times authors will be ejected into the sun. Oh, we're going to be talking about that in a minute. Let's get at first. I'll put it down on my little notes here. New York Times. Let's get to the news of the day, though.
Yeah.
The Democrats suck. Do we need more than that? It's November 11th, 2025. By the time you hear this, more things will have developed. We're kind of watching it update live at the time. Who even knows when? You guys don't know. It might not even be the 11th. But the Senate has approved a deal. They are moving forward on a spending bill that is what the Republicans basically demanded the whole time. There are zero concessions. And someone is going to go, but what about, they promised a vote on the ACA.
Yeah, please.
By
December.
Right. Okay. Let me take it down, Jimmy. Not everybody knows what's happening.
Yeah, let's tell them what is happening first.
8 Democrats. Because by the way, 1 Republican in the Senate still voting against it. So
Crazy.
They actually needed 8 instead of 7 when they have 53 over there. They needed 8 to get past the filibuster. You can guess who some of them were. Fetterman. That guy was Fetterman voted for the clean CR 14 times. John Fetterman is like one of the biggest disappointments ever in a politician when he was like trying to appeal to the left. And listen, honestly, I've read all the stuff. I actually think he was never as good as we thought he was. But the fact that he's this bad seems to be Stroke City. City. I think his brain is, and you know who else thinks that? His staff thinks his brain is gone. You know who else seems to think that? His wife.
Oh no, really?
Oh yeah. When you read, ironically, I think it was posted in the New York Times, but there's a pretty good investigative piece where they talked to a bunch of people from the staff, talked about how when he was going all in on Israel, like his wife could not get through to him of do you know what they're doing to children? You are seeing what they're, anyway. So 8 Democrats lose their spine and they are voting to get past the filibuster, and they are currently working on the Senate deal, which is the clean CR. It will extend. Basically, we're back here in a year, but remember that a year from now is when the midterms will be happening. So also everything's going to be insane because of that. If Republicans don't get their way, they may just shut down the government to be little fuck faces. I mean, look at Mike Johnson playing politics with, it is his duty to swear in newly elected Congress people. And he's been holding on, swearing in of that Democrat for now weeks. Well, well, I can't do it because the government shut down. Meanwhile, every other person has done it during government shutdowns.
He also said some stupid shit that was like, well, I'm just taking the Nancy Pelosi route. Fuck you.
Nancy literally swore people in, and we've never had a government shutdown this long. I would just like make sure that everyone remembers forever. This is the headline, people. This is the part to put out on TikTok and Instagram. Who was president when you lost your SNAP benefits? Who was president when government workers, when federal employees were furloughed for the longest period of time? Who was the president? Whose leadership failed? And when it comes to that SNAP, who's still appealing the decision from the Supreme Court multiple times, repeat appeals to fund SNAP despite the fact he has the discretionary funds? Which president was that? You think this man fucking cares about you? Donald Trump, MAGA, listen closely. If you are not rich, Donald Trump fucking hates you. Hates you. And you have fallen for his grift. And you know what? If he hated you, but you were going to get health care, if Bernie secretly hated all of us, but he could get us Medicare for all, I wouldn't even say that him hating you should be a fucking like deal breaker. But he's not going to. He's not going to. Your premiums are about to go up because the deal they made. The deal, guys.
Art of the deal.
Okay.
Art of the deal.
We've got a clean CR. We're going to fund the government, SNAP and everything for 1 year and put us into the midterms. That doesn't sound like a fucking disaster. 1 year, we're going to do that. And in return, guys, listen to what they gave up. We wanted $1.5 trillion restored from the big, beautiful bill that's going to fuck everybody's Medicare, going to fuck everybody's Medicaid, is going to make poor people poorer. And between this and the ACA subsidies being lost, 50,000 unnecessary deaths per year are coming, according to studies. Okay, so that's where we are. Guys, guess what we got? The leader, the Senate Majority Leader, Mr. Thune, promised we would vote on an ACA bill, not the 1.5 trillion. That's gone. Guys. We had to give up something, so we gave up most of it, almost everything. But we're getting a promise of a vote before December 10th. So you mean open enrollment will already have begun, the quotes will have already gone out, and you're hoping that in the limited period of time that open enrollment is still open, what would you have, like 20 days at that point? All of the healthcare people are going to go like, oh, sorry guys, our bad. Let us just update these and bring the prices down. Let's just do that post haste and let's make sure you're all taken care of by no later than December 10th. And by the way, we're going to have 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats. So when that happens, we're going to lose. Let's say you get the vote. What the fuck are you going to get out of the vote?
What are you going to get out of the vote? And also, it would be different if the Democrats had demonstrated that they're a party that could push anything over the line. Like if they, like, Republicans have shown that they could have the craziest fucking idea in the world and they will find a way to push it across the fucking line. They've done it over and over again. That's what this entire presidency has been. And Democrats can't get a single thing that's important passed.
You're literally, this is Democrats right now like, oh my God, did you see those margins last Tuesday? People are saying they want us to govern. They're saying they want us to do whatever we can to fix their problems. So what if, and follow me here, we give up.
Right.
And
what if we do
Republicans
nothing?
Own everything. Are we? I can't say words on TV.
Yeah. It's, you know, in that way, I will always understand the people who are like, fuck this party. Like,
no shit.
Fuck, because actually, fuck this party.
Have you been on the air with me when we've done the, like, gotten the call of, like, you're the reason the Democrats lost? It's you.
No. Why are you the reason?
There's two reasons I get it. One, you get it from the MAGA people. Because you call us homophobic, racist, and Jordan. All three are just what we are.
Right.
Like, Jordan's my name. I am racist and I'm homophobic and transphobic, let's be clear. But you say it.
Right.
I thought adding the name was a killer joke in there. I didn't even get a chuckle.
It took me a minute. My brain's a little slow. I was like, Jordan. I literally started to think, I was like, what's Jordan? What's Jordan? What's Jordan? What's Jordan?
Well, I wasn't going to go with Jim, like Jim Jordan, because Jim's my name.
Yeah.
That would have confused everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're a lefty named Jordan listening to this right now, but also get your other Jordans in fucking line. You know what I'm saying?
Group up. Figure it out.
Jordans are becoming a problem. I'm just kidding. It's not like their name is Steve. That's the issue. If your name is Steve, there's a 98% chance I fucking hate you. There's like 4 good ones. You guys don't even have, I can't even tokenize a good Steve. What is wrong with Steve?
Steve from Blue's Clues.
Well, he killed all those people though.
What? No, he didn't.
He's a serial killer.
No, he didn't.
Yes. No, I think he has a
didn't.
Blue's Clues podcast. I said there's 4 good ones.
Yeah, he's one of them.
You remember when you were like, wow, Jimmy with the male gaze, because you set the bar so low when you were like, can you even think of one man who like punches down in attractiveness when they date? And I was like, bodybuilders. And I was like, you set the bar low. This is your fault. Y'all coming for me when you set the bar so low is your fault. Anyway, sort of there. We had to, that's your female gaze. If you're reaching for Blue's Clues, Steve.
It's a good Steve. That might be my favorite Steve.
Really Steve, or is he an actor?
He's an actor. His name is not Steve.
Is it? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure.
Because also, why would you change his name?
Right.
Is the other thing.
But like, I don't
as though there
think
was some writer
Steve.
There who was like, all right, so there's this guy. His name is Steve.
Let's think of a name.
We've got the guy's name first. Now we get the actor.
Right.
Let's see. Steve from Blue's Clues. Do you want to put down your final guess as to whether or not his name is really Steve?
I don't think it is. I don't think so.
It is. His name is Steve Burns.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's great. His content now is really great. I really enjoy him.
He sings the Pokemon theme song?
No way.
Yeah, I made that up.
Are you lying? Oh my God.
No,
okay.
I am.
You can't say those things to me because I believe everything.
And yet you knew to ask if I made that up.
I know, because I was like, it just feels like that would have come across my desk because I really do love Steve.
I think he kind of looks like the guy who sings the theme song from Pokemon.
I couldn't I couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
I met him.
Gave me $1 million.
I stood 5 feet from him like 2 months ago. We had a Pokemon convention in my town 2 months ago. And he was there, the guy who sings the theme song. He sings a ton of theme songs. He's like, he's got a famous voice. And yet his line, I'm not even joking, you could just walk right up to him and buy a signed thing. Whereas there's a guy who is on YouTube. He is just a famous Pokemon seller. He just sells Pokemon cards at conventions. He does trades, but he's gotten famous doing it because he's kind of sweet. He has a lot of Mormon vibes, honestly, but I don't know what he is. His name's Coop. And Coop's line for people wanting to, instead of buying cards from him, take a picture with him because he's a famous YouTuber for selling Pokemon cards at conventions. And he's at a Pokemon card selling convention, is not actually selling Pokemon cards. He's taking photos with fans. That line was to the door.
But it has to be because he has people know what because he's on YouTube. Yeah. I wouldn't know.
He did a lot of feel good stuff, sweet stuff. He'd put up a camera and people would super chat when there'd be a little kid there and they'd be like, oh, I really like this card. And he's like, oh yeah, I like that one too. And it'd be an $80 card. And then somebody would super chat $80 and be like, give the kid the card. He's like, hey, you know what? Someone from my chat just bought that card for you. So it was a lot Mr. Beast feel good stuff kind of where it's a lot of people are paying money so that you can take the credit for it.
Right.
But whatever. He seems like it's a sweet boy. Enjoy your time. What, am I going to criticize people for having an unreasonable fan base? Did you see me my first few years here? And the people now who are fans of me, it's their biggest character flaw. Okay. Anyway, back to whatever the fuck we were talking about. We get the calls of your fault. It's your fault. And so the Republicans are saying, because we call them racist, because we just call them by name. But Democrats and liberals will call in, of course, because I'm a leftist and they're not. So never can they look inward for what their issue might be. It has to be everybody else. Calls in and they're like, you should not have been talking shit about the Democrats. You should not have been saying, well, my whole point is I am going to talk shit about them and then tell you, even with all that in mind, I'm voting for them.
Yeah.
When that is the case. Even I'm not going to vote for a single fucking Democrat during the primaries. I'm going to be voting leftist primaries all the way. But once we get to the general election, whoever is the anti-MAGA candidate, because that's what we're up against now, even if it's not Trump, he might try to wiggle his way in, but even if it's not him, that's who I'm going to vote for. And I think that goes a longer way than lying and being like, everything you're seeing right now isn't happening. Joe Biden, he's so virile, you can always see his big, hard dick through his pants. If he's getting tired, it's because all that blood's going to his dick. That's what's happening with Biden. I don't think that works. I think if
I don't want to think about Biden's dick.
Yay, it's okay. No one has in a long time. If you lie to people and go like, all the shit that you're saying isn't happening, it actually like, I think there's a way to do it twice, to do both, to tell people to vote while acknowledging the truth. And if instead you go, hi, I'm a Democrat, you're saying you can't afford to live. But the bill that we passed meant that we are doing better in recovery than any other country. So you must be lying about that. Like, it's basically what's implied. Like, so you wouldn't get, and you're not going to be able to sell to people that we won't be able to do better when they're hurting. And Trump's going to come along and go, it's going to be so cheap. It's going to be so easy. It's going to be, you pointed out he's lying. They didn't believe you. They went for him. They are starting to regret it. Their affordability isn't getting any better, but he's still the president and will now do so much fucking damage. Because you couldn't come to people and go, hi, I'm Kamala Harris. I got the nomination and that's kind of fucked up the way I got it, but I probably would have gotten it anyway. Joe Biden is such a sweet, creepy guy. That's the extent of where we're going to say, so Joe Biden good. And let's go with, fuck Joe Biden, whatever. Your shit sucks right now. I'm telling you, I see that your shit sucks. And here are the solutions to how your shit sucks. And I'm going to still spend 40% of the time saying, bruh, Trump, you want the COVID guy back? Come on, be so true. Be so real. Is that
be so really serious?
Yeah. But then I'm going to spend the other 60% going like, bruh, you know how you kind of get like them groceries right now? But wouldn't you feel better? Think about this. You can't get groceries, but what if I was on TikTok doing cooking tutorials in my rich person kitchen with my kid? Like, that's fucking well done, Kamala Harris. Well done, our good and faithful servant. What a piece of shit they all are. What do you got before we go to the ad break? Sorry, I had a lot on my mind today. And since we're going to start trying today, I just decided to try.
I think it's like you said, it's really frustrating it feels like being gaslit in a way where they are telling us that everything is great and everything is fine. And also, we're going to fix everything, Democrats speaking about. And then shock and awe when they don't win. You just told everyone that's not like, but that's what Trump is doing right now. That's what Trump is doing literally right now, every single day, saying that the economy is wonderful. And he sounds like an idiot.
Oh, man. Did we already talk about the Thanksgiving thing? Maybe that's what we'll start. The Walmart turkey dinner. Did we talk about that? I'm going to remind people. And then we got some more news, pardons happening when we get back, which you won't know how long this ad break is. We might go for 3-4 days because this shit sucks. We'll be right back as far as you know.
This episode is brought to you by the amazing people on patreon.com/calltheline, where you can get the show ad-free and you get the extended episodes where we do bonus shows, which is most of the time. Head over to patreon.com/calltheline and sign up today. Would you like to be one of the cool people who can
8 hours later. That's not true. We'd have updated news if it was. What's up? You had a thing you wanted to, we do have more news to go in.
Yeah.
On the pardons. But
brief break to talk about something.
I think you wanted to talk about something.
I did. I saw
Did you see is what you mean? Because remember, that's technically what these things are called.
Okay. Did you see?
Mm-hmm.
The New York Times has been out of fucking line recently. I can't remember how this came across my desk. But like, I think I saw one of those headlines, and then I went on the New York Times and I started like searching for other things that they had recently shared. Their opinions section specifically is absolutely abhorrent. Here are some headlines. And these are headlines. The oldest one here is from October 23rd of this year. Okay.
Mm.
How women destroyed the West. What is toxic femininity? Have feminine vices taken over the workplace? Which is, there's a debate that happens with a person who is the author of an essay called The Great Feminization.
Mm.
And then the last one that I found, did liberal feminism ruin the workplace? The subtitle, by the way, is, and if so, can conservative feminism fix it?
So what are the bad, which one were the bad ones?
I'm going to kill you. I know where you live. I actually could not believe what I was reading. And I immediately, I think I still follow the New York Times on Instagram. And I was like, well, I need to unfollow you because what are you publishing? What is this? I'm so confused as to...
Wait, so is there like the New York Times social media feeds are posting those opinion posts or the opinion posts are just like if they have a freaking redacted ass individual who writes that stupid shit over and it's in their opinion section, I don't much care about that. It's more like, are they then promoting that link to their feeds? I know other people will, but to their feeds.
I don't know. Let's find out because I didn't even check. I just looked at all of these headlines and I was like, what are we doing? What is this?
Yeah.
And recently there have been some really weird things that the New York Times has shared that it's sort of like turned me off as it is. And then seeing all of that, I'm just so confused about why they would share something like that.
I wonder, like, is there a chance that the answer to the question, did liberal feminism ruin the workplace? Is there a chance that the answer is no?
Maybe.
Like, no, it's actually great.
Maybe that would be great if that were the case. Even so, I think it's irresponsible to have headlines like that and having four of them.
What percentage of the people are going to read first the article and then the whole article, and how many people are just going to use it as a jumping off point to be like, yup, it's pretty terrible up in here. And look, the American workplace is ruined, but let's not pretend titties did it, guys. Okay.
And also, I guess feminism ruined the workplace for creepy fucks. Yeah, it did ruin it for them. You can't just like grope women at the workplace anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess what you really have to define the workplace, because isn't productivity up? Isn't the amount of work you get out of the American worker per dollar like at a ridiculous record high because like basically you can just exploit the shit out of workers? Isn't that where we are?
Probably.
I mean, saying.
The rate of layoffs is the highest it's been since 2009. I think we talked about that maybe last time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people are fighting their fucking asses off to keep their jobs. So I would believe that. But yeah, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, it just feels like it's one of those moments where I want to move out of this country because I just can't. What is this? What is this? And it even this morning when I was listening to some news stuff on YouTube, I was just thinking about how insane it is that religion plays such a huge part, Christianity plays such a huge part in this country, and how that is just like shocking for other countries to see this play out the way that it has. And then to have it in our Constitution that there should be or maybe an amendment, a separation of church and state.
I asked AI to make a bullet point summary of did liberal feminism ruin the workplace? Here's the first thing I hate is that it's called that but it's technically a debate. And it's one of those questions where it's like the question is so charged.
Yeah.
In a way where it's like if we had a God debate and didn't even try to sound open to it by just being like, did Christianity absolutely ruin America? Which I guess
That's the titles of all of our shows.
No, I make that claim, but the question, if you're saying it's like equalized, we make a claim where we go, it is ruining America and we will defend it. That's over on Calling It Now. That's our claim that we'll defend, that you can oppose. This is presenting as it being, if somebody came on the channel for like a one-on-one debate, we would actually call it something like, which is better for America, Christianity or humanism? Like that is, we would have those be the positions. Or if a person wanted to, if somebody came and suggested like, hey, we would like to debate that secular humanism is destroying America, we take that on too. We wouldn't ask a person to defend a proposition in an equalized debate that way. So we'll either do our proposition, like our position that we are willing to defend, or we would do something more neutral. I know that sounds like a lot of me being like, oh, this is how it works, but it is. Okay. This is, did liberal feminism ruin the workplace? And something better would have been, is liberal feminism negative or positive for the workplace? And then it's a text form debate. Kill me. Like, I don't like listening to audio debates. I don't like but they're better than.
Is there an audio version you can listen to, or
you can listen to New York Times like robot read it.
Oh God.
As far as I could see.
Why would they do that? Why would they do it that way?
Let's see if it is the robot. Let's see what it sounds like. How
can we help make stronger communities happen?
Okay, I'm not listening to your ads, asshole. All right, so moving on. So it's a text-based thing, and you have these two people, Helen Andrews and Leah Libresco. And Helen is the pick-me, and Leah...
she's the one who wrote the essay. Helen is an older woman. I don't know what the demo is of the other woman, and I'm curious if that makes a change to their perspective.
Here's the funny, I used the AI that I don't have robotically algorithmed to be on my side of things, because like, I have certain spaces on Perplexity where it's like, hey, this is going to be for fact checking certain things. This is going to be for checking stuff. Here's who I am. So here's like the kind of content I would be looking for. Here are the types of sources. Here's that position. I want the maybe a broad summary of what the leftist opposition would be to this policy and where that source, that kind of stuff. So I have spaces that are heavily biased. And I have some that aren't. I didn't even use Perplexity. So I just use this. And then here are the summaries of the workplace solutions discussed in this, where it's about if liberal feminism ruined the workplace. Here are their solutions. Helen's, in summary, was remove legal biases, allow more gender-segregated workplaces naturally. In other words, let the boys, because that's what it's going to be. The boys are overrepresented in positions of power. Let the boys deserve where the girls deserve to participate. Anyway, restore guardrails like academic freedom. Where Leah's solution... So if you listen to Helen's solution, I think it's very telling that it is very clearly targeted at women, right? Leah's solution is design work around human fragility and dependency, avoid treating people as interchangeable parts, value masculine strength and protection. Which, while the word masculine implies that, saying like it is okay to embrace that, the actual overall solution doesn't even necessarily have much to do with gender. It's kind of like saying... with so many things, they're trying to distract you with this issue instead of going like, what if we just treat people with dignity and give them a living wage? Like, what if we just did that?
And it's also like bell hooks, and a million other people will say, like, you can't talk about feminism without talking about masculinity and vice versa. It's all the same thing. So you can't just address like femininity in the workplace and not also talk about I talk about the masculinity in the workplace, or you talk about neither, and you talk about like a humanistic approach to the whole of it. Like you can't just like, that doesn't make any sense. I think
that there are people, quote unquote, on our side who have like really fucked up this conversation because they will I think it's almost like the implication that we need to be discussing any form of positive masculinity to them is like, there are people to which if the word masculinity is involved, it's inherently toxic. Or like you're losing something by saying like, for those men whose masculinity comes in the form of being like a protector, of being a provider, we should just tell them to stop doing that and do some other fairy tale version of thing and not nurture that in a way that is actually positive, like protect people who are more vulnerable than you are. If you have a platform, use it to platform other people. If you have power, use it to uplift other people, not just to your own ends. That would be these forms of like protectionism, these forms of providing for others, because right now there's nothing else that's going to balance society that way. So I'm like fully on the like, I just hate the way it's like masculinity. We're really, really good at identifying toxic masculinity, really good at it. And we are absolutely horrible at saying what the alternative should be and making it appealing. This has been
I made a whole 20-minute long video about that.
Yeah.
It's like I think that's like the whole new frontier in this conversation is exactly that.
Yeah, and it's no wonder like we lose people to these fucking freaks out there like Andrew Tate, where somebody hears all this stuff and it's like, if you grow up in society, toxic masculinity is the default. So you're not just coming for the individual, you're coming for their parents. You're coming and saying your dad is a piece of shit in a way.
Right.
Your mom is a piece of shit, the way they raised you. And it's very sad. And this is one of those ones like every time I say somebody gets pissed off for. But in Mormonism, the father models the toxic masculinity, the mother maintains it. Yeah. I'm not like, that's how it is. In these scenarios with these nuclear families, the father shows you what it looks like and the mother makes sure you hold to it. Like that's, it's gross because it's like you have the models and the gatekeepers, and the gatekeepers are often in that scenario. And it seems to be broadly across a lot of these patriarchal societies, that seems to be broadly true, even amongst people where the fathers aren't around. And so incels will use that. They'll call it something like man hate, right? Where it's like and they'll redefine it in a way where it's like, oh, the single mothers are teaching you to hate the men for those things they did, but they're also teaching you to hate the women that they admire. And that's the kind of things they'll go after. They'll say it very brashly. It'll sound gross and you'll sound dirty. And yet they're going to feel like it's true. There will be elements of truth in it. And so then it's like, who's going to appeal to them? Once you've told them what their problem is, once you tell them and identified all of the garbage, and then you're just like, so here are your options. Go hang out with those people who have not articulated solutions, or double down and get laid. Right.
Right. Well, and it's also the Andrew Tate side of the fence is also a community of people who's telling this group of young men that it's not their fault and they don't have to take responsibility for anything, which whether that's true or not, that feels really good. So, that it's like, here's the easy way out that will get you laid and will like, you don't have to do any like of the work, you know? So why would they not choose that? And it's honestly, it's all a fucking mirror of how things are working even politically too. You have these two parties, the Democrats who can't get fucking anything done. And then we have the Republicans who are getting the most insane shit done and are, they have Donald Trump in office who is straying from the status quo, which is why a lot of people voted for him. People who had never voted conservatively before voted for him for that reason. So it's like, again and again, you know what? And it's like, I might get some shit for this, but I really think a part of it is because, and a lot to sound like Cory Booker, but like we have so much overcorrecting and self-policing on this side of the fence that it's impossible to like do exactly the right thing to get enough support that things like that you actually move the needle. And so I think that, that's creating a huge impact. We are not making progress.
I wouldn't even mind it if they had a productive way to be correct, if you know what I mean. Like, gatekeeping and stuff doesn't come with a guide to being a better person.
Well, and it's also
always like just be better.
Yeah, and it's also
of leftists who just say the phrase "be better." Fuck off.
The what's been pissing me off the most on the internet are the absolute wave of comments that are just like, but actually,
yeah,
shut up,
Right,
shut up. This is not a dialogue. This is not a dialogue. Yeah, it's like, right. So it's like, I made a video on Instagram about how men also have like a biological clock per se, and like after a certain age, the quality of your sperm declines, and your child is much more likely to have like a litany of things. On that list is autism. You are 5.7 more times more likely to have a child with autism if you have sperm, I think after the age of 35 or 38. And there were several comments that were like, well, what's so wrong about having autism? I didn't say there was anything wrong about it. You did. Right. And on top of that, this is included on the list also because for some people...
I just gestured to myself. My
the
fucking
answer to
dad
that
had
question,
me when he was like 35, you fucking asshole.
But it's also like for some people, yeah, autism is a gift. It gives people creativity, a different lens on the world. But for other people, that is not the fucking case. Yeah. For other people, it is a big obstacle for them to work through because the world is not fine-tuned to neurodivergent folks. I have ADHD. You think if I had the opportunity to not give that to my child, I wouldn't take that opportunity because it's a pain in the ass.
Right.
So like miss me with that.
It was also just a part of the list. It's not like you're saying
it's just a part of the list.
To specifically not give them autism. But I got to tell you, as a person with autism, I think I'm not going to try and pass it. It is not in society.
Who is a person with autism and is like, I hope my kids get this.
Yeah.
I think that's like just kind of disingenuous and unfair.
Actually, people, I suspect those people exist. I don't think they know what they're wishing on their child.
I just think it's like,
I think we have a lot of Munchausen's by proxy in our society.
Maybe, but it's like, even if I have like, okay, another thing, I started to go gray when I was 19.
Disgusting.
I know. It's a pain in the ass. And and I've dyed my hair since I was 19 years old. There's nothing wrong with gray hair. There's nothing wrong with looking old. Like there's actually nothing intrinsically wrong with looking older. And actually having gray hair doesn't always make you look older. However, if I had the choice to not give this to my child, I would hope that maybe they don't go gray until later in life. Anyway, the long and short of it is...
though, like it's sort of... The nice thing about the gray hair example is I think if you decided at 40 years old, you did want to go ahead and have a child or whatever, at whatever point, after whatever age that is, I don't think either of them would actually stop you from having a child.
No,
but
of course not. It's just something to consider.
Kind of, but also it's just like, the point was you have a biological clock and things change.
Things change.
Just that. Also in libido, the odds that you're going to have sex and have babies goes down. And how many you're going to have goes down unless you're fucking Elon Musk's dad or Elon Musk.
Right. So yeah. So anyway, the long and short of it is that, and honestly, I'm glad that we're having this conversation on the podcast because a lot of the time when I get comments that are, but actually, it's from the Line community. Yeah. And it's, and I love you all.
So.
You what?
We are going to start trying, so we might.
Right. And it's not that they aren't right and that their contributions aren't important. It's constantly feeling like you have to have your opinion be heard, that it's more important than anyone else's, that you need to be correcting people all the time when it's just not fucking necessary.
It's the timing. It's honestly the timing and the location of it where it's literally like, guys, have you considered going and fighting a Republican?
Right, like why are you correcting me?
Yeah.
Like why are you tone policing me?
Just adding context that's unnecessary.
Right, tone policing a person who is, and then I know that there's going to be some fuck ass backlash that's going. And at this point, I'm sort of like past the point of caring.
It's a lovely place to be. Cancel me. What am I going to do? Not have to listen to you anymore? Oh, boy.
But it's like then, so you're gonna tone police me and then turn around and tell me that, well, you're on our side. You should be open to feedback. Oh my fucking God, let me breathe for a second. It's like, anyway, that's just been obviously on my chest.
Open to feedback suggests, I love that too. First of all, and this is, we'll go to break after this and come back. But the open to feedback, you should be open to feedback. Sure. From who?
Well,
sorry, the lawnmower guy is passing by. I don't know why this keeps happening. I mean, I guess it's because they come on Mondays. But from who? Is it feedback? Open to feedback? Okay, sure. And look, we look at the comment section.
Not from everybody.
Your feedback also should be open to feedback. When your feedback sucks, I'm gonna fucking tell you fucking suck. Actually, most of the time I'm just gonna skip it and go, who the fuck cares? But you're not when it's a matter of like sociology, a matter of science or whatever. Should I just be listening to every fuck ass in the comment section? Because if so, I got to go listen to a lot of what Republicans think about trans people. Because they're also fuck asses in comment sections. My thread's right now full of them because they don't realize I'm baiting them to the point of anger. And then I'm going to go, wow, you're doing like a really great job here. So you're going to do this on air with me tomorrow, right? We're going to debate.
And they never fucking do.
Debate. They never fucking show up. Well, not never. Well, every now and then. They very so rarely ever. And they don't call back twice. You know what I mean?
One of the other things, and you can start to go to ad break if you want to, but one of the other things is like I made a video about how the hymen doesn't usually break when you lose your virginity. That's the context of the video, is about virginity. And I said, your hymen doesn't break. It's a social construct. The comments that are like, well, actually, when I was 10, and there was another one that where like a person trauma dumped in the comments about like when they were a child and sexual assault and whatever. I'm like, we're not talking about the same thing. You are missing the context completely, and then have taken that as an opportunity to come into my comment section and tell me how to do my job. It's just, I can't take it. I can't.
We'll be right back.
Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove they were supporting this podcast right from the beginning? Well, you can. Head over to linemerch.com. That's linemerch.com and pick up some Founders merch for The Line as a podcast that will only be available for a short time and features the rough draft drawn logo that soon will be updated to look less like it was drawn by a 3-year-old. That's linemerch.com.
Okay, here's my point about not enjoying liberals. And but actuallys literally just happened in one of my responses, except they didn't say but actually. They just said but. I wrote, goodness sakes, I really hate the Democrats. I get people saying, you're why the Dems lose, because I call out their shit. Apparently on a day like today, I'm supposed to be quiet and pretend they don't blow. Today, like the day, gives you kind of a hint of where we are, but them capitulating to the Republicans, them giving up after all those victories, going, you know what we don't like? Leverage. We're tired of having it.
What a burden.
And this person, which on the surface, if somebody's just scrolling by, people only know how to participate in a way where it's like, oh God, if they never reply to this, it's going to look so good. If we never hit nuance, it's going to look so good.
Yeah.
But you're criticizing the entire party over the actions of 8 people. It seems like generalization to me. John Ossoff is the most vulnerable person in the Senate, and he voted no. First of all, let's talk about exceptions. If a rule has exceptions, that means it's the rule. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called an exception. It means the rule is valid, rather. The fact that an exception exists means the rule must also exist.
Yeah.
Right? That's what an exception is. So you're listing off an exception. But John Ossoff is your exception? I like John Ossoff. For Georgia, I like Raphael Warnock a lot more. But as far as what you're going to get out of Democrats, they are more progressive than most. And I like them for Georgia, right? It's probably the best we're going to get out of Georgia. John Ossoff is not great. John Ossoff doesn't even support Medicare for all. So what does that mean? John Ossoff is a part of the Democrat problem of we will limit our solutions to what our billionaires who fund our campaigns are willing to let us say. Because if you are still not for Medicare for all, it means somewhere you're worried about a billionaire continuing to give you money. Does he want expansions of the ACA? Sure. But we're all sitting here going like, in fighting whether or not the subsidies are renewed, we're fighting over that right now because obviously it's going to be worse for people if they're not. But if the ACA, if that wasn't the fight, if they just were funded forever, our premiums are still too motherfucking high.
Yes.
Like healthcare is fucking horrible now, but we're just going to be fighting over this premium issue when we should be fighting over whether or not we should start eating the CEOs. whether or not we should like buy lots of barbecue sauce to go with our meal of CEOs. Like that's where we are right now. And yet we're talking about the stupid fucking ACA subsidies because the ACA is not enough. And it never was. It was one of Obama's early capitulations and people saw it coming. It's going to look a little bit better for a while. They're going to pat themselves on the back. They're going to go, oh, look, everybody, we're doing good. We're doing good for the people. And then it's going to get worse. And it's going to make insurance companies richer and they will figure out how to exploit it more and more. And it will make the healthcare industry even more of an industry for profit. It will be more incentivized. And so you're going to sit here and go like, oh, but John Ossoff voted no. And yet John Ossoff still is participating at the level of politics with the party. That is why the Republicans are now in all the houses. They're in the House, they're in the Senate, they're in the fucking judiciary, they're in the legislative, they're in the executive. They have it all. They have everything because they won't run more Mamdanis. They won't participate in a conversation of like, all right, fuck off with it's socialism. You're scared of the word socialism because you don't know what it means. Fine. You can't afford shit, dude. You're fat and you're dying because you're fat. Because let's be real, that's happening to a lot of people. Is everybody who's fat dying? No. Are a lot of people, because they're not getting their fucking sleep apnea treated? Because their blood pressure is high? Because their cholesterol is high? Is the fact that heart disease is the number one killer of people in America, heart disease and cancer, unrelated to how much fucking unhealthy shit we're eating? Not just the quality of the shit, but the quantity of the shit we're eating. Take it from a now just kind of fat, but formerly rather fat guy. I was very sick. And it has a lot to do with not having good healthcare in this country. And then when it comes to like living, like people just wanting to have access to a day worth living. When you don't have that, you sit at home, you don't move around as much. Yeah, it's a problem how much video games aren't turning people into school shooters, like Republicans want to say, but playing in excess of video games is contributing to sickness, contributing to people not having a real social life, contributing to just all the ways in which we are making ourselves physically and mentally fucking sick and getting all of this cancer, getting all of this heart disease. And John Ossoff and the rest of the Democratic Party, and it's sad, it's only because this person made that example, but they are culpable. They are complicit. They are sit there going like, yeah, we don't have solutions for that we're willing to vote for. Yeah. Because the billionaires who are funding us, the power that we are desperate to hold on to, we can only keep that if we just offer you little carrot sticks every now and then. Little carrot. Maybe if you guys ate more carrot sticks, you'd be healthier. Literally, carrot sticks is our metaphorical policy, but it will soon be our literal healthcare policy. We're going to be offering you carrot sticks.
I don't understand how the ACA, was that 2010 or something? 2000.
Yeah,
I know.
That area.
Okay,
9,
so
probably.
We've had 15 fucking years to come up with something, to come up with anything.
Yeah.
What the hell was everyone doing for 15 years?
Well, Bernie was creating an actual platform to run on.
Right.
And then the
what
Democrats
was everyone
were like,
else doing?
Guys, Bernie's not even a Democrat. So yes, we can see his populist appeal. We can see the fucking arenas he's selling out. But do you know who we're into? That good old Hillary. Oh my God.
Good.
What a charismatic leader Hillary is. Just an upstanding lady who never threatened women who were sexually harassed and abused by her husband. What a great chick. We got the girls are back in town.
The girls are back.
I'm not even saying you had to go with, you had a better option than Hillary and you could have ran Elizabeth Warren at any point. And Elizabeth Warren, still not good enough, but better, and would have acknowledged people's fucking pain and would have had a fucking like, oh my fucking God. If you had to run a lady, which it's great. I'm glad we ran ladies that lost. You could have ran a lady who actually could also go like, hey guys, I'm going to acknowledge your pain. Hey guys, I'm going to make things better. Hey guys, what we've had in the past isn't good enough. Hey guys, I know Obama's our savior, but has anybody considered maybe he's not that great? Has anybody ever considered maybe the ACA benefits insurance companies more than people, and maybe the ACA needs to be a step toward an immediate, complete change. And maybe in 2016 you need to vote me in because he gave you concepts of healthcare like Donald Trump. I mean, there were concepts of a plan. The ACA is already a concept of a plan. He gave you concepts of healthcare. I'm thinking we give you healthcare.
Right. Imagine that.
I'm just thinking we do that. But thank you for running those ladies who lost because it was their turn.
Right.
Which ultimately is what, I mean, is there other reasons at play? Of course, sexism's at play, right? Of course, racism's at play, right? For both of them. Could you have overcome that by actually having a message worth fucking sharing instead of putting Hillary at the end of Obama and going, you know what would be great? 4 more years of, are things getting worse? My bad. You know what would be great? 4 more years. 4 more years. It's awful. You guys are suffering. It's awful. And we're not even willing to admit you're suffering. We're telling you actually you just had a great president, so you're not suffering. Is that? Which, by the way, fuck the sexism for the Democrats by making those women carry those fucking pails also.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Hillary sucks, but also the DNC was like, and now post Obama, where people are like, did we change? Did we get what we needed? Let's go make the ladies sell it that they want the continuation. Nobody's even noticing Obama's a war criminal. No one's even checking that out. Who cares? Let's go make the ladies make that work. Like, fuck the Democrats for their sexism there too. And for Biden to Harris. Like, hey, lady, make sure that you never say a bad word about the old man you just had to replace because he's such a fucking narcissist. He thought that he should still run when he literally physically can't actually run at all. Like to the bathroom.
Right. To the bathroom.
let's just go ahead and like fucking Christ. Democrats, you fucking suck. And I'm so not going to do this like, you need to pretend. John Ossoff is the proof that John Ossoff participates in and you know what? Prove it. Prove John Ossoff is even the exception. What? Here's what John Ossoff's response should be. I'm just going to read to you. If John Ossoff posts anything with this kind of energy, I will retract my John Ossoffness. I wrote this. Hey, so Threads will make sure you don't see this because I've got something to say 8 times. And then there is a picture of Tim Kaine, Dick Durbin, John Fetterman, Jeanne Shaheen, Maggie Hassan, Angus King, Cortez Masto, Jacky Rosen. Those are the 8. That picture's there. So I wrote 1, fuck you. 2, fuck you. 3, super fuck you. That's for John Fetterman. 4, fuck you. 5, fuck you. 6, this is for Senator Angus King. No one wants to fuck you. 7, fuck you. 8, fuck you. Give me anything from John Ossoff toward those 8 with that energy, and I will go, he's the exception. He is, I'm not even convinced he's the exception. Just because he didn't vote, if the rest of the caucus, if the rest of the Senate, the Democrat Senate were so good, the amount of shaming they would do, if the consequences of us not getting this vote are what they were saying it was last month, they would then say, Senator Tim Kaine just voted for those consequences. Senator Dick-ass Durbin just voted for all of you to fucking die because you don't have health care. John Fetterman is murdering your fucking grandma because these are the consequences we just said a month ago are the consequences. And yet now it's like, well, they have their constituents back in their place and they have to vote for their conscience. And so they're just trying to represent the best. No. Republicans were killing grandma, so they just killed grandma. Fuck off with this shit. John Ossoff is the exception. John Ossoff, if he throws out 8 fuck yous, I will say is the exception. And again, I kind of like John Ossoff.
I'm just glad that you got that all off your chest. I think that you really needed that.
Patronize me.
No.
If this attitude was in the Senate, maybe we'd have fucking healthcare. Is what I'm saying.
And you're so right.
You're so right. More like a Democrat, Alyssa.
And it's also like it's important when people talk about how we shouldn't be criticizing Democrats. That's the reason why MAGA is a fucking cult, is because they refuse to criticize any of the things that people do there, and they're just going to repeatedly make excuses.
Including the pedophile list.
Right. It's like you have to continue to criticize so that people keep pushing in these spaces because they just will not.
Yep.
They will not. They will take the easiest. It's like the most human thing ever to take the easiest path available. And that's what they're just going to continue to do. So, yeah. And also our taxpayer dollars fund their fucking salary. So, yeah, I'm going to criticize them because right now, no one has fucking money. The job. That was so
Except
weird.
them.
It looked like someone walked down my stairs, but no one was home. A ghost.
Oh my God. What if this was like an elaborate 1 hour intro to a horror movie? And people are like, it's like, wow, they made
committed.
a bad movie.
They really committed. Wait, we should talk about other things because there's other things that happened in the news, including how flights are getting canceled like crazy.
Presumably this is going to get better with the government opening. Here's my problem with this thing. Like, this is what now is making it important. So yes, on Sunday, 2,200 flights were canceled. Mm-hmm. We'll see what Monday's numbers are. We'll see what the numbers are once the government opens, how quickly they'll be able to reverse it, how quickly people who left the TSA come back because they're like, I need money. Right. I can't not be paid. We'll see how that happens.
I'm supposed to fly on Wednesday night. I'm nervous about it.
And that's like, here's the good example. And I'm not saying you're like them on this. I'm content with you missing your flight. Yeah. Over whether or not we get healthcare. I'm content with you not going to Ireland.
Yes.
And yet, the news, CNN, Fox News, and the Republicans, as soon as these started happening, as soon as white people and middle class people and rich people were having their flights interrupted, it got serious. As soon as senators and congressmen might not be able to fly home as easy, poor people losing their health care, poor people losing their SNAP benefits, none of that was serious enough. But to the Democrats, I was thinking about flying home this weekend. Can't have the TSA out there.
Because there's such a clear moral value that these people put on your financial situation. Right. If you are a poor person in this country, it's a moral failing.
You're used to so much inconvenience already. What's a little bit more?
Right,
I guess
exactly.
That's my Chuck Schumer. You know, the poor people in this country. By the way, Schumer, you have to resign. That you could not keep those fucking guys. Even if, but he voted no. He's the leader. He lost his fight because literally he lost the Democratic agreement that they were going to hold that line. So he has failed as a leader.
Arden she shared something from The Onion that was really funny. It was about Chuck Schumer. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Is it gone already? No. Okay. It was Chuck Schumer helps pull Democrats back from brink of courage. Hilarious.
Yep.
It's so funny. It's so true, unfortunately.
I just have to say, Democrats, when did you become Republicans? Because that's who you are right now. That's who you are right now. Fuck you and your fucking face. Like. The inconvenience of everybody else. Poor people were inconvenienced. And when poor people were inconvenienced, I made a stand. But when I wasn't sure I was going to be able to go to Scranton this weekend, we had plans. I got to get up to the Finger Lakes. We got to get out of here. When I can't get up to the Finger Lakes, I see an issue and I'm voting to reopen. And then there was John Fetterman who sucked the whole time. Hey, John Fetterman. You can decide what I meant. I can't say the things I was thinking on air, but listen, my heart goes out to that blood clot. Okay.
That's funny.
You're a terrible person. And I hope you go home and you retire peacefully. Immediately. But I will not lament whatever makes you no longer a politician. I will not lament you not being a politician. Perhaps I will lament the action. There's certainly condemnable things could stop you from being a politician. And after, I will still be relieved you are not one. While condemning whatever it is, heart disease, the stroke comes back for round 2. Some guy. Whatever it is, I'm gonna be like, man, those things are bummer. But you know what isn't a bummer? That he's not a politician anymore. What a not a bummer.
What a not a bummer.
I will debate any senator. Come on the line, any of you. I don't give a fuck, Republican or Democrat. Senator, congressman at the federal level. Fuck, I'll debate probably any state congressman or you guys get me somebody, I'll do it. Let's make these fuckers do it. Let's make fuckers debate more than just outside their campaign shit.
I'd be curious to see what they do. I mean, it's a lot of like, if you have seen Cory Booker on, what's that podcast? I've
Call
had
Her
it.
Daddy.
No, God, I wish.
I don't know what it is.
No.
I heard that podcast is not very good. I heard that there's some
I've
things
had it.
happen and it's not. Call Her Daddy, I've heard, no.
Oh,
I've heard there's
yeah.
some problems.
I'm
I heard
not-
it's problematic.
I'm not into it.
Okay.
That's a whole
I heard
spiel.
I heard it's rather pick me.
Do you want me to go on this spiel?
Do you stay for the bonus show, patreon.com/call the line if you want to hear what's
Yeah.
wrong with Call Her Daddy from
Yeah.
revered internet famous sex coach, reality TV star, super genius, debate extraordinaire, Alyssa Lube on the bonus show. Her take on Call Her Daddy at patreon.com/call the line. But what were you going to say before all that?
So on the I've Had It podcast, which is really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's like two older white women from the South who are having these very
I think I've
progressive
seen them.
conversations.
Didn't they like thirst over Hassan once?
I don't know.
Did
They're
they have him
older.
on? Let me see if it's.
I don't know. They're older in both.
What is it called again?
I've Had It.
Okay.
They have really funny nicknames for all of, like they call Donald Trump Kankles McTaco Tits. And they call JD Vance Smokey. Anyway, doesn't matter. They had Cory Booker on, and Jennifer, one of the hosts, really held his feet to the fire about the AIPAC money that he takes. And he had the most like PR spin responses over and over again. And it was
I'll
like,
take money from anybody.
he
'Cause at the end of
basically,
the day,
he was like, it's a very small amount that I've taken in the entire time that I've worked in government. And
sounds like then there's no stakes to denying it.
right.
to
So then why
rejecting
would you take it then?
If it's so small, it sounds like turning it down would be nothing to you.
Right. And then he said something about, actually, he was like, on the left, if you're not perfect, then, and she was like, no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah.
It's funny where it's like, yeah. That's true when we're talking about no progress anywhere. It's not true when you're serving the interest of another country who's committing genocide over the country, the finances, and like, bruh.
Correct.
Fucking, are you joking me? Are you joking my legs so much right now?
So I don't remember why we were trying about that.
I felt like that's what you could say. Are you joking my legs so much right now? This is like an Eastern European close to getting a phrase right.
I have a note on my phone of all of the insane things that Kevin says to me. I need Promise to start doing that for Yuka, because I'm sure that there's.
Do you
really
actually need
funny
that,
ones.
or do you just need the notes of the fake quotes I make up for Yuka?
But I think that those can both be coexisting notes.
Okay, I see.
Are
mine better or his actual ones better?
I don't know. I don't know the actual things that he says.
Yeah, so I think mine are better. He probably just talks like a normal guy.
Let's see. I'm trying to see what is on this list of things that Kevin has said to me recently that's like appropriate to share online.
Go for it. List them off on the outro and then go to the bonus show where we're going to talk about Call Her Daddy.
Okay.
And other podcasts.
He said, a guy like me bagging a girl like you, it's a recession indicator. I thought that was funny and kind of sweet.
Well, it depends which direction you take that. Who's existing in the recession? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
He said that a cyber truck that drove past us looked like a jungle gym in a crappy neighborhood. Because it had like the bars on it. What are those called on the top?
Yeah.
He said, it's insane that if I wanted to be a cop, I could be a cop with a gun in 6 weeks, but it would take me 8 years to be a dermatologist.
Or a licensed esthetician. It takes more to become a licensed esthetician, not 8 years.
Right. Yeah.
It's weird. Hey, speaking of the Cybertruck, I saw a video of somebody who polished theirs to make the outside mirror instead of And I think it's terrible because it's awful for traffic. But I do like then when you are walking to your car, you will more soon be able to see who is the asshole. That's the show. Sorry.
Skip.